You spend hours studying. You read the same pages again and again. You highlight important sentences. But the next day, most of it is gone. Sound familiar? Research shows that within just 24 hours, people can forget a huge portion of what they studied. Not because they're lazy or unintelligent, but because the brain is designed to remove information it doesn't actively use. Yet here's something interesting. In Japan, students are able to memorize thousands of kanji characters and remember them for years. Not weeks, not months, years. So what are they doing differently? The answer isn't studying longer. It's studying smarter. Most traditional study methods feel productive, but they don't actually train your brain to remember. Reading your notes again and again or highlighting entire pages might look like learning, but your brain often treats it like background noise, the same way you ignore ads while scrolling through social media. Be honest. How many times have you spent an entire night reviewing notes only to sit in the exam room and suddenly forget everything? That's not a motivation problem. It's neuroscience. There's a concept called the forgetting curve. It shows how quickly information disappears from memory if it isn't reinforced. After the first day, a large chunk of what you learned begins to fade. After a few days, only fragments remain. But here's the good news. You can work with your brain instead of against it. Japanese learning systems have used powerful techniques for generations, methods that help students remember more while studying less. And today, we're going to look at 5 powerful learning strategies that can completely change the way you study. Let's start with the first one. Active recall. Train your brain to remember. Most students focus on input, reading, watching, highlighting. But memory improves through retrieval. Think of your brain like a muscle. The more you force it to recall information, the stronger those mental connections become. Instead of rereading your notes, try this. Close the book. Take a blank piece of paper and write down everything you remember about the topic. At first, it will feel difficult. You might even feel stuck. But that struggle is exactly what strengthens memory. Every time you try to recall something, your brain builds stronger pathways. In other words, forgetting less starts with testing yourself more. Small steps every day. Another powerful idea used in Japanese education is breaking learning into small, manageable pieces. Rather than overwhelming yourself with huge study sessions, you focus on mastering a little at a time. This idea is similar to the concept popularized by James Clear in the book Atomic Habits, that small improvements repeated consistently can lead to massive long-term progress. When you study in small daily steps, your brain has time to process and absorb the information naturally. Over time, these small efforts build a strong foundation of knowledge without the stress of cramming. Spaced repetition, timing your reviews. Imagine trying to keep a plant alive. You wouldn't water it once with a huge bucket and expect it to survive for months. You water it regularly. Memory works the same way. Spaced repetition means reviewing information right before you're about to forget it. For example, review the material after one day, then a few days later, then a week later, then again after a month. Each review strengthens the memory, making it last longer and longer. Instead of relearning the same material from scratch, you're simply refreshing it at the perfect moment. Continuous improvement. In Japan, there's a philosophy called kaizen, which focuses on small, continuous improvement. Rather than making massive changes overnight, you improve just a little bit every day. The best part is, this doesn't require hours of studying. Even a few focused minutes can make a big difference. For example, 2 minutes recalling what you learned, 2 minutes reviewing key ideas, 2 minutes practicing. That's 6 minutes total, but repeated daily, it creates powerful long-term progress. Deep focus. Finally, technique isn't everything. Your attention matters just as much. Many Japanese students practice a state of deep concentration where distractions disappear and the mind fully engages with the task. You can create this state by building simple study rituals. Use the same study space. Remove distractions. Start with the same routine each time. When your brain recognizes these signals, it switches into learning mode much faster. Over time, studying becomes less of a struggle and more of a focused habit. So, here's something to think about. When you learned a skill, like a sport or even a video game, you didn't master it just by watching tutorials. You practiced. You made mistakes. You improved step by step. Learning works exactly the same way. It's not about how many hours you spend studying. It's about how you study. So now the choice is yours. You can continue using the same study habits and forgetting most of what you learn, or you can start using smarter methods that actually work with your brain. Try one of these techniques today and see the difference for yourself. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more videos about productivity, learning, and personal growth. Because sometimes the smallest changes create the biggest results.